Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Creating Hanley. I am Kimberly at Creating Hanley, and we're going to go over a couple of things in this video today, but I wanted to show you how to make this tree. You can say it's a Christmas tree. You can say it's a Tannenbaum. You can say it's a... My cat is trying to break into the room. It scared me there. My light moved. Anyway... Yeah, so, yep, here she comes. So, I have the pieces cut here. I have the thing, the measurements right here. I have to preface this by saying I'm a little out of sorts right now. I was supposed to be, the message. I was supposed to be somewhere else right now. Something else was supposed to happen. That canceled. And then I was going to do something else, and I didn't make it. So I came back to my studio, and I was like, let's do some sewing. And then, I don't know, it just... You ever have a day where you're just out of sorts? Like, my stomach has been not upset, but like, I don't know, it's just been... Something's weird, something's off. And the water's shut off because the water company is out a couple houses down, replacing the water main. So we don't have water here. It's not a big deal right now, but I mean, it's 8:30 at night, and it's gonna be a big deal. Anyway, so I just wanted to wrap up the end of the year. I just wanted to wrap up some things that I just kind of left hanging for you guys. You have some questions about, and I want to wrap that up. So before I get to this Christmas tree or Tannenbaum or just a regular tree, pine tree, let me talk about some other things. So there was a question on how do you attach the star blocks that we did this year, and I showed you in a different video how to sash the star blocks and attach them together so they're all sashed, and now you have a completed star quilt. So a year full of stars, star quilt. So two things with that. One, I had a question about, can you attach them without the sashing? And yes, however, there's a caveat. So let me grab my stars. So I'm going to grab these two stars. So obviously I didn't finish my quilt yet. But I'm going to grab this entwined star. Remember this? We did this entwined star, and I quilted it, and this is my little quilt design on the back. And then I'm grabbing this 8-point star that we did somewhere around, this is July 4th. So this is a patriotic, a patriotic. So here's the back of it. So you can see that I, did a... So this is the blue thread, and this is a white thread. So you can definitely see the quilting with the white thread showing up there. So yeah, so that's that, and that's that. Anyway, let me show you what I mean by so sashing is really probably the best way if you have... All right, stop, Sabrina. Oh my gosh. If you have quilted it to the edge, so like for this one, I've quilted this to the edge. You're not going to be able to attach star to star if you have quilted this to the edge without a sashing. Okay? So I've not trimmed mine up yet, but if you have quilted it to the edge, you can't, because you need a little bit of fabric. So if you've left some fabric free like that and you didn't sew it all the way to the edge, then yes, you can attach the two together. But I quilted mine right to the edge here, and so that means I don't have any overhang of the fabric, because you could put back to back or front to front, whatever, same, and then line those up, and then if you have enough fabric here, you can pull, like I'm doing, you can pull the batting and the the other layer away, and then you can sew. So you can see this. You can sew those together, right? And then when you open that up, then you have attached that on that side. Now this side is open. So then what you would have to do is, and basically it kind of makes like a rag style, which actually there's another way, and the way to make a rag style is just to put these together, sew, and then when you open it, one side is clean and then the other side is I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it justice. So short answer is no. If you have quilted your front edge to edge, you cannot attach them together without it being a rag. So if you want to rag it, then yes. If you don't want to rag it, if you want to have a clean seam, then you need a sashing or some kind of other little fabric piece in between to hold them together. Okay, so like for example, this one, and this is point number 2. So let me finish this. So I showed you guys how to do this sashing, and this was to put the stars together. Okay, this was my example. So you need a sashing, otherwise it's going to be a rag quilt. And then for the binding, so for point number 2, for this Sew a Year Full of Stars, how to bind it. You know what, guys? There are a ton of really good videos on how to do binding. And I suggest following those if you want to get it done before Christmas, because today is already the 21st. Happy winter solstice, by the way. Happy winter solstice. Ton of really good videos on how to do that. And maybe I'll get to that in next year. But right now, the way I'm sashing is like this. So I showed you this the last time, right? In the last video. So I added the sashing in between. Now this one didn't meet up exactly right, but I'm just going to sit on it. But anyway, this is the back of it. So you can see I quilted it and sashed it. And now the binding, I'm doing it a different way. So normally a binding is you take one long continuous piece of fabric, small, like an inch and a half in width, and then you just start at one end and then go all the way around and then complete at the other side. Well, I'm taking 4 different pieces. So in order to kind of match this part, I took the same fabric on the outside and outside, and I'm putting a strip on the top and a strip on the bottom of the white. And then for the black, I'm putting a strip on this side and a strip on that side. Now I've done the top so far. Now what I'm going to do is match these corners. So you want to do a 45-degree corner. So then you sew it on. And then you match the corners. Sew those together. And then you fold this over like a Christmas present or a gift wrap. You gift wrap it, and then you fold it over, and it should make a 45-degree angle, okay? Now, I know it's horrible, I know, and I'm not going to show you how to do that because I don't have time right now. There are other videos out there on how to do that. So, the other thing that so those 2 are done. In my brain, sash it any way you want, any way that works for you. If you wanted to, well, you can't do the turn it inside out thing. You can't do the pillowcase method because it's already quilt as you go. So you can't do that. However, you can do the one continuous sashing all the way around, or you can do this way. Just add strips to the side, and you don't even have to do a 45-degree angle. If you just want to do this, I'll show you. If you just want to do this, block it, like that. It's just blocked. Boop. Do that. And that's easy, and it's done, right? Okay. So that's what I like. Easy and done. So there's that. All right. So that takes care of the So A Year Full of Stars quilt. Now for the shreddeds, the what did we call these? Bird's nest, or these shreds, or trash bin scraps. These little things. This is what I made so far. A bag. I made a big bag. So I put 6 of these, 9 of these, 12 of these together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 together. I put 15 of those 4x6s. I know months ago you guys had a question, what are you going to do with that? Show us what you're going to do. Well, this is what I did. Okay, now I haven't put the straps on this bag yet because I haven't put the inside together either. But this is what I made with it. So 15 of those 4x6 dryer sheet. These were the shreds and these were the strips, the scrappy, strippy crumbs, whatever I'm trying to say. And then this is the back, another 15 of those. So here's the bird's nest, or shreds, or whatever I called them. And then here's the other thing, you know. It's a horrible video, and I know, and like I said, I don't know. I don't feel right today. So, anyway, put the handles on this bag, and this is a big shopping bag, okay? You can take it to the grocery store, Aldi, hang it over the beach, whatever you want to do. It's an overnight bag. It's big. It'll hold a lot of stuff. Okay, so that, I'm going to finish that. So, because you guys are asking, well, I want to see what you make of it. So, that's 15, okay? You don't have to make it this big. I mean, you can see how big it is. It's like almost as big as me. So, I could like turn it upside down and wear it as a shirt, all right? All right, guys. So, that's that. What was the other thing I wanted to tell you about? I don't know. Oh, things are falling on the floor. Okay, now for this. The Christmas tree. I thought my hair looked better today, but Jesus, it doesn't. So, I don't know. All right. Now, this. For the background. Let me just show you. For the background, you need 2.5 by 1.5. You need 2 of those squares. I don't even know where they are. 2.5 by 1.5. That's what these are. They fell on the floor, so I had to grab them. 2.5 by 1.5. That's how big they look. Okay. And the background is the white that I used here. I got cat fur. The 2.5 and a 1.5 will go right here. This is a 2.5 by 1.5 right there. And then you only need 2 of those to make one, to make this one block. So if you wanted to make more than one block, then multiply it. You also need 2.5 by 2.5 square. This is 2.5 by 2.5 square. You need 10 of those. 10. 2, do not put a mark on the back. For 8 of them, mark a diagonal line on the back. Okay? It should only be one way. Mark a diagonal line on the back. For 8 of those. Okay. Because those are going to be your points right here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? You got that? And then this is the other 2.5 by 2.5 inch square right there. Okay? You also need 2.5 by 3.5. You need 2 of those. 2.5 by 3.5, I think looks like this. Whoa. 2.5 by 3.5. And then you only need 2 of those. And then you need another 2.5 by 4.5. And that is this. 2.5 by 4.5. Goes right down here at the bottom, actually. Okay? All right. So, the 2.5 by 3.5 goes up here. I don't think I mentioned that. So you have 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 at the bottom. For the tree trunk itself, you need a 2.5 inch square. Just one 2.5 inch square. Can be whatever color you want. Doesn't have to be this, okay? If you just want to make a pine tree in purple, orange, and black, fantastic. I love it. Now for the tree itself, this part, these triangles, you need 2.5 by 4.5, one of each. Let me go at the bottom. 2.5 by 4.5, 2.5 by 6.5, 2.5 by 8.5, and this is 2.5 by 10.5. So basically, these are jelly roll strips. Okay, jelly roll strips. That's what these are. These are jelly roll strips. Okay. Your finished block should measure somewhere around 10.5 inches. If you measure and cut correctly and sew correctly, it'll end up to be this, 10.5 inches. Now, I added this border. This border is not part of it. I added that. So if you just look at it without the border at the top and the bottom and the sides here, that is your square, okay? Now, I added the border at the top and the sides, not at the bottom yet, so it is much bigger. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so maybe you can figure out how to do this, right? So you take your smallest 4.5 and you add 2.5-inch blocks. Snowball the edges, or, you know, we've done this before, guys. And then add the 3.5-inch background up here. Same thing here, snowball the edges, add the 2.5, another 2.5-inch block, and then down here, your 1.5-inch block. And this one doesn't have any. This is just snowballed, okay? Put all those together. Make the strips first. Make these first. And then add the sides. Add the sides. This one doesn't have a side, so this one's done. And then once you have the sides added, add the rows together, okay? Row, row, add them all together, add this together, add them all together. And again, I put sashing around the side. Square it up. It should square, if you've, like I said, it should square up to here, 10.5 inches. That's how long this is. It should end at 10.5 inches. If you need to, cut it a little shorter, 10.25, 10 inches. I added the sashing because mine's a little bit wonky. You might be able to tell if you look real hard at this. You might be able to tell it kind of leans to one side. That's because I used different thicknesses of fabric. This background is very thick and this tree is very thin. So I used different grades of fabric, of quilting fabric. And I swear I still have a cat hair. It's itching me. So what it did was it just got a little wonky. So I added the sashing so I could trim it up to 10.5 inches. Okay? So if you needed something to make real quick, like placemats or something, if you want to make, placemats real quick, just make this super simple. Make one square at a time. Add your batting, add your backing, quilt it up. If you wanted to, put the batting, quilt the batting together, and then put your backing face side together, trim. So leave 2 inches up here, sew all the way around, turn it inside out. So now you have a backing and it's already quilted. And then just sew all the way around to close up that hole. We've done this before. You know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. I think it's time I call it a day. So I just wanted to say, oh yeah, and this is the other thing that I did with these dryer sheets. I made these kind of Christmas tree looking things, and I used a pinking shears to like jig-jag the edges there. And I was going to put these onto like this kind of fabric. I was going to do kind of this thing. Just applique them on. But you know what? I started to become very frustrated, so I just stopped. And I don't even know what I'm going to make with these. Maybe I'll just throw them away. I don't know. You know I won't throw them away. You know that, right? All right, but that's what I did. I just took, and I just wanted to, work with some crumbs and straps and strips and scraps and whatever. And just put these together. And I was going to do a video on that, but I didn't. So I just took a full dryer sheet. I don't even know. Just take a full dryer sheet, and I kind of just drew a triangle-ish kind of thing, and then I just put strips across it and sewed them on, and then I took a zigzag decorative stitch up and down. I don't know. Does it look like a tree? I don't know. So there you go. Hey guys, have yourself a merry... Oh, the embellishments. I forgot to say. Let me show you. These embellishments. So what you could do on here also, if you don't want to make it a placemat, like if this is not going to be a placemat, don't do this. If it is going to be a placemat, this is not good to do that. But you can take these little embellishments, like these little buttons, and sew them on there. Sew them on. So look at little reindeer. Yeah. You can like put him all the way at the top of the tree. You know, like whatever works for you guys. This is really corny. Oh, look, here's a robin. A robin. A cardinal. Put him in the tree somewhere. A little cardinal right at the top. Guys, it's time for me to go drink some holiday cheer. And this might be the last, well, except for our Food for Thought Fridays. There's a couple more Fridays. Is there one more Friday? 2 more Fridays in the month? I don't even know. But there's another Food for Thought Friday coming up. So that is our stay positive mantra. Anyway, have fun making whatever it is you're going to make. And in the next year, I have a team of helpers, and we are working on crafting better videos. We're creating better videos here at Creating Hanley. So look out for those. All right, guys. And we're not going to do a what is it called? A declutter. We're not doing the declutter challenge here at Creating Hanley. But we are going to do a studio tour. So look out for that. All right, guys. Have a good holiday. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.